Fortitude. We all believe that finding a right partner and knowing the things to look out for can be very confusing and stressful. So today we want to be talking about what to consider before you finally settle down on getting married. We have our counselor, Linda Mante, who will be taking us through this journey. It's going to be very insightful. So let's share to 10 people. That's the challenge for today. Share to 10 people, and I believe that in doing so you'll be of help to someone who is actually thinking of getting married, thinking of settling down at this moment. So let's share to 10 people. I'm also sharing anyway. So let's share to 10 people. Let's share to 10 people. Let's share to 10 people. I'm sharing to 10 people. And I believe it's going to be of help. While we wait for our counselor. So please push the questions coming. Put all your questions. If you're about to get married, if you are settling down, if you are choosing, put all the questions. Push them. Let's ask. Because it's better we know before we get in. And even those who are already in, you're going to learn a lot, because you have children, you have friends that you can advise with your own experience and examples. So let's get on board and let's get started, because to choose a life partner is not easy. Hello, have you shared to 10 people? I see Mami, I see hello. Hey, your Paribia, hello. Jeffrey, Efriye, our constant viewers. Efriye, hello Efriye. Zoe, I see you. You're all welcome to the live chat with Weinglo Family International. I've seen that the questions have already started coming, and we're going to help you with that. Don't worry. I've seen that. Share to 10 people. Okay, Rabbi, hello. Welcome. If you've been able to share to 10 people, let me see your hand. I've shared to 30 people. You can even share to 30 people on your Instagram. Followers. So please share to 10 people. Save a life by sharing this to 10 people, because you might never know. We have people here who are already married. I don't know if you want to share. What did you actually look at before you chose your husband, or you made the choice? You're like, this one is what I really want. So please share. I see married people here. I see Opribia. I see Zoe. I know they are married. For that, I know. So share. What did you look out for? What did you consider? And you said, oh, this one is the bone of my bone. What did you look at? Did you look at the height, the color, the image, fine boy, or... what did you look at? Did you look at the inward and did you look at the outward? Which one? Tell me what you looked at. Oh, okay. So Zoe said that she looked at a man who loved God. Wow. That's great. A man who loved God. That's right. What did you look at before settling down? Opribia. Those I know, they are married. I can mention their names because I see all of them online. While they are doing that, let's share to 30 people. Whilst we wait for our guests. Let's share to 30 people. They're still here. We're waiting for our guests. Yeah, we are sorry about that. Hello. Yeah, welcome, Mary. Share to 10 people. Okay. We are ready to give you all the apple. Yeah, we are still waiting for our guests to come online and then we can get started. So before then, like I was saying, we are going to talk about things to consider when you are getting married. We have people online who are already married. So I was asking what they actually considered when they were getting married. And Zoe Depp said that someone who loved God. So apparently that was what she was looking out for. So those who are coming for their apple, we are ready for you. Don't worry. We are waiting for our guests. Yeah, not just a Christian. Okay. Alright, so people go like, I want a Christian. There are difference between a Christian and somebody who actually love God. That's true. Because we have the people who just go to church and they just go to church but they don't love God. It's true. So you're actually looking out for, okay, somebody who loved God. Okay, so our guest is online. We are starting. Yes, starting. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, welcome.
Hello. Fatima. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome to the live chat with Weinglo Family International. You're looking good.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You're also looking sharp.
Thank you. I'm learning from you, big sis. I'm learning from
Ah,
you.
we thank God.
All right. So today we want to talk about things to consider when you are choosing
Mm,
a partner. We've realized that sometimes
yeah.
it become very, you don't know what to look out for. Some people will actually pretend that, and then you get in and it's not what you actually thought. So what are the things
Mm,
we have to look out for? So we want to start with, what is marriage in the first place? We need to understand what marriage is before we even think of considering the partner or what to look out for. So we want to start with
okay.
what is marriage. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hi to
Well,
all our listeners. Um, to begin with, let me say that marriage is God's idea. So marriage is a product of God.
Okay.
So God is the manufacturer of marriage.
Okay.
Just as when you go to the car manufacturing companies or any other company, or even the phone companies, we have the main manufacturer. So let's say if you are using a Samsung, the latest Samsung, the manufacturer produced it. So that product that you have in your hands is for someone.
Okay.
So in the same way, marriage is a product of God. And anyone who comes out with a product adds to it the manual. And that manual is what you are supposed to read. So you will see that it will say that read the manual before you operate the product. So marriage is God's idea. He originated it. In fact, marriage is the first institution that God created. And marriage is the basis for other relationships. So when we go to the society, for instance, it is marriages that produces people, and then through procreation, we have society, then we have the nation, we have the world. If you like, also, marriage is the cement of the society.
Okay.
So in every building, the way we have the foundation, you see, the society, the nation, the world, marriage is the foundation.
Okay.
So let me basically say this, because we know the fact that marriage is between a man and a woman who have all agreed and given their consent. Those ones we know. But I want us to look at, if you like, these technicalities that normally we don't talk about. So that is what marriage is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I believe that, I think you said it, because it is the foundation. Without marriage, there wouldn't be a child. If without marriage, the child will also not give birth to a child. So it's exactly what you're saying. So marriage is very important.
It
And
is.
without marriage, and then like you're saying, the manual is the Bible and God. Just like you have a car, and
Exactly.
so the the manual for marriage is the Bible. If you're a Christian,
Yes. It
okay,
is the principles that are outlined for the marriage.
okay,
You see, so as we go on, I'm sure all these things will be unfolding.
all
Then we
right,
know, so
yeah,
it is a product of God.
okay,
God is a manufacturer. It is his product.
all
And
right,
he has laid down principles that you have to follow. For it to function, you have to
okay,
follow that. Else, it will not function.
all right, okay. So
Yeah.
then we'll go to our
Mhm.
next. What are the functions? You said it. What are the functions of marriage? We
Okay.
see
So,
Osby around. Hello, welcome, Mr. Paul Kofi Mante. Watch flow. That's flow.
okay. So, marriage is supposed to be the cement, or if you like, the foundation of most relationships.
Okay.
Its functions are many. When you read Genesis, the account of Genesis and the way God created us, the Bible says that we were created in the image of God.
Okay.
So God created man, but God created the male man, the man, that's the male man, and the woman or the female man. So you see, from the beginning, we were separated, or I mean, we came from single before we came to be married.
Yeah.
So we had the male man, we have the female man, all in Adam. But the Bible says that God said that it was not good for a man to be alone. Therefore, he brought the ribs of from a rib from Adam, and then created Eve to be a suitable helper.
Okay.
So Eve comes in to be a suitable helper. So we see that when that union comes together, and God said that, the Bible says that, and God blessed them. He said that increase and multiply. So God gave them the ability to reproduce.
Okay.
So marriage is also, I mean, it is the only way through which there is procreation or reproduction in man. I mean, man and woman coming together. Even though today we see people who are going out and sleeping and getting, I mean, children resulting out of it. But originally, that is how God intended it.
Okay.
And when you read God's account in Malachi, he said that it is because I'm looking for godly offsprings. So it is a union that is supposed to bring godly offsprings apart from the companionship that a man and a woman coming together gives to them. Apart from that, it is also one of the function is also for companionship. There are many other things. Yeah, there are many other things that comes as a function of marriage.
Right.
Yeah, but
So,
as we go on, yeah.
so, is sex before marriage right? Because if from what you're saying means that, I mean, I want you to, is sex, most people have sex before marriage, but is sex before
Mm-hmm.
marriage, that marriage sin, fornication, is it a sin to be together before you get married?
Okay, so you see, God, like I said, marriage, we can have the society's opinion, what people think it should be, So people, you will see that people will say that, oh, sex before marriage, but let's go back to the one who created marriage and how he wanted it to be, and know whether it is in his own light it was good for, people to get into sex before marriage. You see, you don't want to complicate yourself. You don't want to complicate yourself. Just let's look at simple examples. Today I was speaking to someone and I was telling the person that most of the time people are like, oh, if I don't go and have a test, how will I know whether the engines and everything are functioning well?
Yeah.
That is what people you find people saying. But it will interest you to know that this will lead them into it. They will start having fun, enjoying each other, sexually. But you will see that such relationships have problems. So you ask yourself that you were saying that you were going in because you think that you are going to give into sex because you think that is important for you to check. It's an important check for you. But you realize that you are in it. You are doing it all the same. But you are not happy in the relationship because you find out that there are some fundamental things about the person's character that you may think that, oh, we are enjoying having sex and all those things, but you are not happy. If that was the only thing that could make you happy, you would have stayed in it. But you realize the person has an attitude problem. The person doesn't respect you. The person he's not ready to share. The person does not accept you the way you are. All these things are things that comes to play when it comes to, important things that we should look out for. not to rather jump into the fact that we want to go and test the engine and see whether the engine is working or not.
All right. So it means that it's a no. It's not good to have
It is
sex.
a no. It is too. You even tend to complicate yourself. You turn up
Okay.
even complicating your life when you start going into such things. It is a no.
All right.
It's a no.
Okay. All right. So let's come to the main topic. What should we consider before marriage? What should one?
Or if you like, let me just add a little bit to it,
Okay.
because I told you that um we marriage is God's idea,
Yeah.
and he like everybody, you buy a product, a manual is given to you. Before you even begin, you should learn about these things. When you read Psalm 119, sorry, when you read Second Timothy 2:22, Second Timothy 2:22, it says that flee the evil desires of your youth and pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace. You see, so we have desires. Somebody will tell you that body no be firewood. So you see, you have that kind of sexual feelings when you are going out with someone. But the Bible says that flee. Why doesn't it say that jump into it? He says flee. You get it? He
Yeah.
didn't say that jump, he says flee. So it means that if somebody says that flee, it means that you should run. It's like a flight. You should get lost far away from there as fast as you can. And when you read Job 31, verse 11, it says that Job 31:11, it says that I have made a covenant with my eyes not to look lustfully at a young woman, trying to say that a young woman, a woman you are not married to, I have made a covenant with my eye. So all these things are very important for us to look out for and to obey before we even get into the marriage proper.
All right.
And
Okay.
maybe let me just add the last one. Second Thessalonians 4, 3, 3 to 4 says that God's will for you is to be holy. So stay away from all sexual sin. Stay away. And you see, people sometimes ask me, counselor, so you see, the thing is that how far can I go? How far can I go? Then I say, you should be rather asking, how far can I run? He says, stay away. So you need to stay away so that the foundation will be strong. You see, you are going out with somebody, you are not married to the person, and then you go sleep with the person and those kind of things. You tell your mother that, oh, mommy, please, I'm going for all night. And then you are doing all night, 4 legs, all night. You get me? And your mommy calls you and you're saying, today the all night has extended. The prayer is hot. The anointing has descended. And the guy is lying by you and he say, hey, when you finish, you all laugh. The day you get married, and then you tell him that you are going for an all night, and truly something happens and the all night extends, he begins to think that, hey, son or catcher, she told me, I remember when we were going out, when we were not married, this girl, she's lying. The trust is broken.
You're
You
right.
get it? The trust is
Yes.
going
Yes.
broken.
So please stay away. So you are married. Stay
Stay
away.
away. Stay away.
It's
Stay away.
will help build the foundation. In travel and
Yes,
it's your partner alone. Your partner can wait for you. When you start
exactly.
now travel and your partner will come. All right. So let's come to the main topic for today. What should one consider before marriage?
Okay, so before marriage, there are very important things that should be considered. And I say they are very important because once you close your eyes to them, you see marriage to be a dream come true, but it could be a nightmare if you don't prepare well for it. So basically, preparing for it, it should, like I said, it's God's idea. So you should make the choice according to the will of God. God will not come and say that, hey, Boatemaa, I present to you, or this, you have to marry this person. You see, even if God will normally showcase the person to you. It's like when you go to a store, a shop, a supermarket, and more, the things have been showcased, but you make the choice. So you have to make the choice according to the will of God. And also, too, you have to make the choice with parental involvement. Parental involvement. Ishra. Parental involvement. You have to make the choice with parental involvement, which is very important. And like I said, it is good for you to get someone who also believes God with you. I mean, who is a Christian. Because you have to follow the principles of God to make this marriage work. So if you don't know, if you marry someone who also doesn't know God, when I say knowing God, I mean someone who is one person. When I say one person, so I mean that the person is the same person at church and the same at work and the same at home. There are people who have three faces. They wear one at church, one at home, one at their workplace. But when we say holiness is being the ability of being one. So you should be able to be one. The same you, the same person who is at church, holy and sanctimonious, should be the same holy person when it comes to your workplace. That is what you should look out for. It's very, very important. And one other thing too is that you have to look at, we have the interfaith and those kind of interfaith, interreligious marriage. All these things you have to look out for. If you're a Christian and you go and marry a Muslim, at the end of the day, will the children go to the mosque or they'll go to will they go to Makalanta mosque or they'll go to church? All these things are things that you have to consider. We don't just jump into it. You should be able to hear from God. There are apart from God, there are other important things. If you are a man, you should have a steady income. We don't eat, I love you. So you should be able to work, earning substantial income that will take care of the family. Number 3, you should also be able to check the background of each other, do some background checks. It's very, very important. The tree say, you should know a bit of the person's background. How is the family life like? How do they comport themselves? You should be sharp on some of these things. How do the family, when it comes to the way they receive people, all these are important. Do they stay in marriages? Do they have marriage breakups? Is she coming from a home where the people feel that they are worthless it will show up in the way the person also carries herself. Is she coming from, or he coming from a place where they are pampered? I don't think you want to be a mama. You are not marrying someone to become a mama, the person. But if you don't take care, you end up coming to mama someone because the person is not looking for a wife, he's looking for a mama. Yeah, mama, mama ba, dada ba. So all these things, you should be aware a little bit of the person's background, which is very, very important. You should also look out for how compatible you are when it comes to health issues. You see, your sickling compatibility. How is it like? It's not like when you realize that you have gone very deep into it, and then now you realize that you have gone. They said you are SS. You are S and he's SS, so you can't marry. All these things are things that you should look out for before getting into the marriage proper. Know how to talk, know how to keep yourself.
Wow.
You see, you don't get up, dress anyhow. You don't, if somebody meets you, they don't know whether you are an old woman or a young woman. All these things are important that you should look out for. I always say that your marriage is like an omelette. If you want an omelette, you should get good eggs. So your omelette is as good as your eggs. Your omelette is as good as your eggs. If your eggs are bad, your omelette will be bad. So if the two people who are going to get married are the character, behavior, and all those things are bad, you are going to have a bad marriage. It is just a mirror. It's just a matter of time. Everything will show up live.
So, Linda, you're saying that if you get married, you need to have something doing, but the most important thing is somebody who loves God, right?
Yeah.
Somebody share the same belief with. If you're a Christian, you need to get a Christian, because when you get married to a Muslim, it will be a whole lot of things to do with. You also need to do a background check to find out whether the person that you are getting married to, the family, how the family is. And also your medically, you need to find out whether you are AS, he's AS, and you can't get married, AS, and he's AA. You need to find out medically your status. And somebody who actually has control over himself. You will not become your mama, or she will not become your daughter.
Yeah.
Very, very important point.
Okay. And of course, the person should look attractive to you. That's one. It's also important. The person, should attract you, but that is not the number one thing that you should look out for. Yes, or the most important thing. But the person should definitely look nice, appealing, It's also very important to look out for that.
Because you're going to marry somebody that doesn't appeal you. Trust me, get it married, and this will never appeal you, and even come close to you. So it's a very good point.
Yes. Yes. But you see, most of the time, we end up focusing so much on that aspect. We focus so much on the looks. Tapoli or Coca-Cola shape and all those things. That is what now most of the time most gentlemen are focusing on. They want bust 48, hip 25, bust 48, waist 25, hip 50. Then they can say, man, oh my God. But then you can have all this. But when the person's character is bad, you go and it will become and you see the girl and you see, Charlie, this one is dream come true. But after marriage, you will see that it's a nightmare. You had a wrong dream. It's a nightmare. So these are some of the things. Yeah. These
So
are some of the things.
when you are dating, what are the don'ts? What would you
Mm.
not do as a lady? You know, some people get dates and then they go home to their guy's house to go and wash, to go and scrub, to go and cook, to go and do a whole lot of things before marriage. And even they don't even end up
Yeah.
marrying. So what are the don'ts and the do's? Which one should we do and which one should we not do if you are single?
Okay. So when it comes to the do's and the don'ts, I always say that it is important for you right away when you know that you are going to go into the marriage to set what we call the relationship boundaries. Set the boundaries. That is the rules of engagement. That will tell you the do's and the don'ts. So if you are looking, I mean, there are basically some important areas in your life. Your spiritual life is one. Building your own self, your personal development is one. Your career is one. The family you intend to have is one. I mean, when it comes to when you marry, housing should be one. Your children's education should be one. Your retirement should be one. All these things are things that you can sit down and plan about. You see, so you have you have a relationship boundary or rules of engagement. So when we meet, these are the things that we talk about. So these are the do's. We want to know how far we want to go when it comes to our spiritual life. How do we want to grow spiritually? What can we do? Can we all decide that we will use daily guide or daily power or something? So when we share, you are in your house, I am also in my house, we can call, have a discussion on it. In rules of engagement, that is one. Then you can also go further to talk about your personal development. What can you do to make yourself a better you? You see, you should love yourself enough for others to love you. If you don't love you, who do you expect to love you? You don't love yourself because you find a lot of, yes, you that you don't have capacity. You lack capacity. So you find out that you can't love yourself. There is so much potential in you that must come out, that is lying down dormant. What are we doing? Can we decide that every week or every 2 weeks we read a book? You are reading and I'm also reading. Or I read, I give it to you and you give me yours and then you read. That is capacity building. You are building yourself up for the marriage. Apart from that, what are we going to do when it comes to work, career? Where do I want to be in the next 10 years, the next 5 years? What is the career path? Discuss those things. It's not every day. Come, Brahmin Chen, come, let's lie down, let's do this. Somihana, somiha. Somihana, somiha. You go, and then you know the movies that you are watching. You know that it's tempting. You go, instead of you watching things that will develop you, I mean, personal development, add value to yourself. You see, look at challenging things, people your age who are doing very challenging things. You discuss it. How can we also bring out what is in us? You go and then you put blue, you put blue in it, and then you are watching. Action.
Oh
Action,
my.
you turn up being action. Yes. So set the rules. There is nothing in the Bible. We haven't written anywhere in the Bible that when you are 14, don't don't hug. some of the things you know yourself, you know that you are weak in certain areas. So don't even go there. Because you know, this thing, people call it Lufthansa. Some people call this Lufthansa. Lufthansa. But Lufthansa, I call it Akosomo high tension. This one is high tension. High tension. As you are doing, as you are hugging and hugging and hugging, the high tension is pointing. If you go and the dam, when we dam also rises up, what will happen? So you see, you have to be smart. I hope you are getting me. You have to be smart on some of these things. Don't go there. The Bible did not say that when you are going out with somebody, don't put your hand on the person's, like, don't found something or found something sisiechi. But you see, let's say you are strolling in the mall. You go ahead, you realize that your hand is paining you, like somebody will say. You see? At the first instant, maybe you didn't do it intentionally, but you too, the thing, they sweet you. So you don't say anything. The thing is there. By the time you realize the thing, the hand that is there is doing massage. Now you say, now you realize that you fall into temptation. A whole lot of things. So you have to be smart. Set the rules of engagement.
All right. So please, viewers, keep your questions coming. We have a few minutes to end. Send your questions. I mean, Linda has said it all. Has given us the rules, the do's and don'ts. So please, if you're a single man or woman, what you have learned today, please practice it, because you don't want to get into something messy and then you realize that it's a nightmare, just like she said. So push your questions coming. If you have any questions to ask, please, we have a few minutes to go. So push your questions coming, and then let's see how our counselor will help us answer those questions. What do we call wives before marriage?
Hello.
Hi. Please, can you hear me?
Yes.
What?
You said
So
what? Come again.
you said what we should ask before marriage. You've said it.
Yeah.
So should one stay single or married?
That one, it depends on your gifts. Like, just as the Bible said, when the Pharisees came to ask Jesus whether Moses said that if your wife or you have a problem, you can divorce. Just as Jesus told them, how was it in the beginning? What did he say? What was the instructions that he gave you in the beginning? Then he went to that story. That one is a marriage seminar. That's a passage. It's a marriage seminar. Down there, he says that if you have the gift to stay single, you can stay single. But if you burn with passion, then you have to marry. So that one depends on you. If you think that you can stay single without falling into sin, you can decide to stay single. But if you think marriage is for you, then you have to prepare well and then marry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Linda, the last question I ask you, what shouldn't be ignored before marriage? What are the signs that you should not be ignored when you see is a runaway? It is not a stay, it is a runaway matter. What signs should we actually?
Okay, so if you realize that the person you are engaging in, like you are going out with, has multiple relationships, he is dating you, but he is dating other people, please, you have to run away. because the marriage will not change the person. If the person has a problem with anger, and the person is angry, in psychology we call it displacement. He is angry at something. He will use the way he vents the anger is so outrageous. You have to run away. It's a red flag. Because if the person can kill you just because they are angry, why do you have to go then into such a marriage? If the person insists that they surely want to have sex with you before marriage, I don't think you should go into such a marriage, because you create a weak foundation for the marriage. The Bible says that stolen water is sweet. Stolen water. When you read First Corinthians 6:13, it says that stolen water is sweet. Sorry, Proverbs chapter 9. Proverbs 9:17-18. It says that stolen water is sweet. Food that is eaten in secret is delicious. See, when you get it and you are eating it in the secret, it's delicious. But it says that little do you know that the dead are in there and the guests are in the depth of the grave. It means that you are enjoying now. He is enjoying you now. But it will be as if, you see, when you give yourself out like that, it's like pure water or bottle of water that you have bought. After drinking it, what do you do to the bottle? You throw it away. So they will dump you somewhere and then go for another person. So those things are just a no go area.
Okay, somebody's asking a question. What if he is bisexual?
What if he is what?
Bisexual.
I mean, who is that? The one of them is bisexual.
Yes. What if the person
That
is
is
bisexual?
why you have to. Oh yes, that is why you have to do counseling. You see, most of the people run away from counseling before marriage. They want, when they are in love, they want the pastor to do everything fast for them. But during counseling, the counselor will be able to ask sensitive questions that will bring out most of these things to bear. So you have to go through counseling, and it will help you to check these things. Yeah.
I
And
believe
if the person is impotent and the person pretends, you know that we all know that after marriage, if you are not able to consummate the marriage, it's no marriage. So all these things, there are laws that protect you from all these things. So you don't even have to fear about whether it is working or it is not working.
Okay, somebody's asking. I believe everyone has flaws. So please, what should be the percentage in regards to the good side and the bad side? So that you know if you are making the right choice or not. So I think that she's trying to say that everybody has a bad side. So what percentage should you look?
Yeah. Well, you see, the thing is that you can't really put percentages to it. Because when I ask you what percentage are you, the one asking the question, you may not be able to put a percentage on yourself. But there are key things that are very important. Anyone who is a God-fearing person is not a God-fearing person by mouth, but their actions truly shows who they are. The Bible says that by their fruits you shall see them. You see, if the person is telling you sweet things and the person is doing otherwise, then you should know. So if the person is a true God-fearing person, it's even enough. Just that alone, the person will not go and slap you. The person will not go and chase other women. The person will not hide the money from you. You see, this thing centers a true believer. There are some women, when they are counting money and the husband comes in, they will sit on the money because they don't want you to see what they have. But if
Yeah.
you get a genuine believer, all these things, you realize, it will come out for you to
So
see.
the last question said the man has both sex drive for man and woman, means that the man can sleep with a man or can sleep with a woman. What will be
Hmm.
your advice? So I think you
I
answered
mean,
it. If a
yeah,
God-fearing,
such a person. I mean, if you really did your homework, your marriage is as good as your omelette is as good as your egg. Your omelette is as good as your egg. So do all the background checks. Don't be in a hurry to go and marry. Do all the background checks, and it will be helpful to you.
all right, Linda. I think you've done a very good job in answering our questions. And what are your last
Yeah.
words before we go?
Um, yes, my last words is that you should learn to control yourself. I mean, you should be the good person that you are looking out for. Be the right person first, and then you get the right person.
God bless
Yeah,
you.
those are my
Oh,
last words.
thank
God
you very
bless you too.
for coming.
Thank you too.
We believe that we'll be seeing you more often. Please follow Linda Mante on Facebook. She has Sunday. She does. Linda, can you talk about that in a few minutes?
Okay, so Sundays we have a marriage and relationship enrichment show every Sunday on Facebook. It's a Facebook Live program, Linda Mante on Facebook. You
Okay.
can also follow Linda Mante on Instagram.
All
God
right.
bless you.
All right. So please, if
Yeah.
you have questions you want to ask Linda, Linda is a counselor. So follow Linda on Facebook, on Instagram, and push your questions. She'll be right there to help you out. Thank you, Linda, for coming. Enjoy your evening and hello to the family. Thank you, viewers and loved ones and followers, for watching live chat with Weinglo Family International. We are so grateful you came online today, and I believe that you've learned something because today was deep. A lot of consider before getting married. So see you and thank you for joining in. Bye bye. Have a good evening. We'll come your way on Friday. We'll be talking about how to manage your finances, and I mean it's going to be one that you need to listen to. See you and have a good one. Bye.